Hey everyone, I have a little haul for you today. So I just want to show you what I got. Most of these things, at least the surfaces here, are new to me. And so I can only show you what I got. If you're familiar with one of these, let me know in the comments if you like it or not. The goal here was to find some good surfaces to play around with acrylic. I've been enjoying that in these past days, and I just don't have a lot of surfaces, and I didn't want to start working on canvases or cradle boards or any of that. I just want paper. I want to be very free. And so I've been kind of using this aquarelle. This is like watercolor paper. It's actually my favorite from Hanemühle, but this is not meant for acrylics, which doesn't mean that you can't paint with acrylics on it, but you can see it's like kind of absorbent, and I wanted to try other surfaces because I like this one so much for watercolors. I prefer to use it for that. So actually what I was hoping to find was this paper in a larger size, like in this size. This one is 30 by 40, and it's a size I really enjoy painting on. And then this one is more of like an A4, so it's a small one. And this one, this is a paper sort of for oils and acrylics with linen finish and special surface refinement for oil and acrylic painting. And I really, really enjoy painting on this. The one that I had before is this one from Frederick's, and I think this is kind of widely available in the US. Hanemühle is a German brand, and it is very, very widely available in Europe, in Austria, where I am. This one, I know a lot of people love it. Personally, I don't like it as much as I do this one. This one, I see now that it says medium texture, so maybe there's different type of textures, but this one doesn't have as much, if memory serves, as this one, and I really prefer it. So this is primed with gold gesso, and I think hopefully you can still see the texture of it. So it has kind of that linen look. I hope you can see. And I really enjoy painting with oils on this one. But they didn't have it at the shop, and I don't know if it's because they don't, they just don't carry it, or maybe Hanemühle stopped making it. So I got a few other options to try. This one is from Fabriano, and this is, you can see it's like canvas grain. Again, this one is made for oils, but I'm thinking you can also use acrylics with it. I'm definitely going to try. So let me see if I can show you the texture of this. There you go. So hopefully you have an idea. And then this one, I don't think I really know this brand, but it was just like nice size. This comes in other sizes, but I didn't want to buy a bigger one before I know I like it. And then with this one, I think because it was relatively inexpensive, I took a chance. So this is a canvas pad for oil, acrylic, and I don't know what that is. Alkyd, I guess some sort of paint. And this is, again, just like this canvas. Yeah. Oh, okay, this is not like paper with a canvas finish. This is really canvas. So I like that. I'll give it a go. And I'll show you the texture. This one has quite a bit of texture. So I'll try probably prepping it also with gesso and see how I like it. And then with Hanemühle, I tend to trust them. And this one is for acrylic. says acid-free, age-resistant, natural white. I think I saw that they also have bright white, which I tend to like with watercolors, but since I'm probably going to cover most of it, I guess it doesn't really matter. So this one is a block and it's 300 grams. My favorite is actually lighter. It's only 230. So, and I don't feel really the need for anything thicker, but we'll see. And then this one is 360 GSM, which is quite heavy. And this is also a block, so it's glued on all sides. And you get 10 sheets. And I think this paper is also available, from what I saw at my shop, it's available also like, not open stock, but in packs of like 50 and 100, and it's not like glued on any sides. So if I like, again, I didn't want to buy like a ton of it before I knew that I like it. So I'm going to try it and see. From the look of it, I think I'm going to like it just because it kind of reminds me of my go-to watercolor paper. Let's see what it says. Hahnemühle acrylic paint paper. Choosing this acrylic paint block, you have made an excellent quality choice. The special surface ensures genuine color reproduction and best results for all acrylic painting techniques. Colors do not get absorbed and can be smeared for a long time. I'm wondering if they still recommend like prepping this with gesso. I guess I'll just have to try and see how it behaves. And then this one, I actually thought this would be fun to use with my daughter. She's here a lot and we paint a lot together. And I always kind of struggle with which kinds of papers to let her use because she can draw a lot and then she goes through, you know, whole sketchbooks really fast. So I saw this large notebook and I thought it would be fun to paint, and hopefully will take her some time to get through it, or I will also try to maybe sketch on it. I'm not sure. And then this one, this is another kind of acrylic paper. This one is white, so I think it's, I'll let you see the difference. This is slightly less heavyweight, and this is with a linen texture and satin finish. And this one really looks very similar to kind of watercolor paper. I'll show you the texture. You can see it's not, it doesn't have that linen look like this one has, which I'll show you. So this one, what do they say? Again, the same, basically the same thing as the other one, but they have different surfaces, different weights, and it's just different paper. So, oh, actually this one I think they had in like loose sheets. So I want to play around, try different things, see how I like them, and I also like having the option of working on a few paintings at once, even though sometimes it leads me to having a lot of like scraps that I don't know what to do with. I think when you're working with acrylics, when you're working in layers, it's probably a better practice. And so, yeah, I'm going to play around and let you know what I think about these. Now, of course, I couldn't leave the art store without getting some colors or like paints. So let me show you what I got. Okay, so let's start with these. I felt like after painting for a few days, I felt like I just needed a few more options of neutrals in my palette. And I have, for example, one color that I'm really not enjoying. So I can probably give you kind of a disrecommendation. It's this Lucas. I usually really like their products, but this beige color, this one is, I don't know, it keeps separating, and it's supposed to be like semi-transparent or semi-opaque, and it's just very, very anemic. So I don't know, maybe for some people this would work, but every time, like when I try it on its own, it's too anemic. When I try to use it for mixing, again, it's a little bit too anemic. So I'm just not really happy with it. It's kind of like, I feel like it gives me nothing. I wanted to find, see, it's just kind of blends to nothing, or you have to like use a lot of it. So yeah, I think maybe I'll just throw it away because I don't know. Or maybe try and add add to it like some ink or something and just like tint the whole bottle. I don't know. I don't know what to do with it, but it's really doing nothing for me. So beige from Lucas, from their studio line, I wouldn't bother. So I tried something kind of similar. I wanted like a cream color because I've noticed that every time that I use white, the colors get really cold and it's not working that well for me in florals, which is a lot of what I'm doing right now. And then I usually have to add some yellow to kind of warm things up, which is fine. But if I could also just like find a nice cream color, it would help me kind of add some warmth without having to add yellow all the time. So I'm going to try it. This is from actually the paint line of the shop where I bought this, Bösner, and I really wanted it to be opaque because I probably see myself, maybe I'll use it as is, but also a lot for mixing, and I just wanted, I don't know, lately I've been really loving opaque colors. So yeah, this one, I mean, what a difference. This, like, you know, spreading it and it still gives me really great coverage. And this is exactly the kind of color, if you're on a budget, and even if you're not, this is exactly the kind of color that I would look for in the student range, studio range, anything that is, you know, not the highest quality, because there is very little pigment in this color, and pigment is what makes paint expensive. And so, you know, save your money for those really bright, vibrant colors. And, you know, something like this, or I can show you like other shades where there's a lot of white and they're not very intense. Unless you absolutely love the color and struggle to mix it yourself, buy studio, like student grade. And then this one, I also wanted to try. This is from Amsterdam. This is Royal Talents. It's their paint line. I think it's super popular here. It's very, very widely available. It's kind of like a taupey kind of, it's called warm gray. Again, it is opaque. Yeah, this is lovely. So I'm just experimenting with these neutrals, and this would be probably like a little bit like a slightly darker buff titanium, and I really like it. So I just want to see which neutrals work for me with my colors and also when I mix them. And then I was looking also for something that is a little bit more like mid-tone, even though looking at this now, this looks quite dark, because I really don't have any neutrals that I like that are, that have like a mid-tone, like a middle value that is not too dark or very, very light. So this one is, again, it's from that house brand, and the color is called Slate Gray. And again, it's opaque, and you can see that it's quite dark. So I also got, yeah, this is interesting. So I have to see, I mean, the color as it is, I kind of like it. I think right now I'm more into like these warm grays, you know, French grays, as opposed to the really, really cool icy grays. That's just where my color cravings are at the moment. So I want to see how this mixes with kind of my go-to colors. And then I also got raw umber. I don't really have raw umber, and I've seen like quite a few people really enjoy it as probably mostly as mixing colors. So I don't know. Yeah, this is like this straight out of the tube. this is not my color at all. These are a lot more appealing to me as neutrals. But I tried to find like the smallest tube that I could. This is again the house brand. So yeah, we'll see. But I'm really happy with these three. I think they are good options for me to add some neutrals, which is something that I'm kind of training myself because I like the results of using somewhat muted colors, not like a ton of neutrals, but just like toned down colors. And yeah, I don't have really the tools to make these. And then I also picked up this, this is from Lucas. This is their acrylic paint in their liquid formula. So I really like working with opaque liquid paint. And I have quite a few, you know, more like inks, and these are fun too, but they're very transparent. So when you start layering, it can get a little bit challenging, a little bit too messy. So I really wanted to have, this is titanium white, it's opaque, and this is quite affordable. You just cut the top here, and then you have the cap like this, you close it. So I picked up this one. And then I tried, like I wanted to try these colors and see if I like them. This one is, so these are both from Amsterdam. You can buy these teeny ones and just try colors to see if you like them. I also thought about this as a mixing color. You know, it's not really, it's like a grayish, it's called, yeah, grayish blue. And you can see that it's quite blue, but it's a little bit toned down, and I think it would be an interesting color for mixing. And then this one is ultramarine violet. Both of these again are opaque because that's what I'm loving right now, and I have a lot of transparent colors, so I really don't need more in that department. And yeah, this is an okay color. It's not my like all-time favorite. And then now, you know, we have like, I have to get some colors. So I got these two pinks from Winsor & Newton, their Galeria acrylic range, just because Winsor & Newton make some amazing pinks in gouache. And I was just wondering, okay, this is not at all what I was hoping. So this one is Opera Rose. No, this is not great at all. Yeah, this is really garish, kind of neon. It doesn't look anything like this. I didn't think it would look like this. They had this kind of, you know, brochure next to the paints, and the color sample looked nothing like this. So this is actually quite disappointing. And then this one is Permanent Rose, which is a beautiful color in their, I think gouache and oils. Yeah, it's pretty nice, also in acrylics. So I'm a little bit obsessed with my Holbein Luminous Rose, but I think this would be also a pretty color. And then I guess I should just open you guys. Got a couple more. What I wanted to get was Prussian Blue. I wanted to get this. This is again from Lucas. I wanted to get this in the liquid formula, but they didn't have it. So I just got the regular one because I have a tube, and I just got a tube to see if I like the color, and I'm kind of running low. So I wanted to have a larger bottle. These are like my favorite purchases, you know, buying colors that I like and use. Okay, there we go. So I'll show you the color. And it's just pretty classic Prussian blue, which honestly, it's not like my favorite color. But I was experimenting the other day, and it turned out this was a huge success for backgrounds in kind of floral paintings. So yeah, so you can see it's like it's kind of like a deep blue, but it's not super saturated. And it looks really nice with florals on top, like my kind of florals. Okay, and then this one, these two are from their liquid range, and I have cobalt turquoise and cadmium red light. This one is transparent, which is kind of disappointing, but I wanted to try it. Ah! You can see the color. It's very pretty. I wish it were opaque, which you think that cobalts, they tend to be opaque, but it's not. So I think I was just distracted by the beautiful turquoise color in the shop that I didn't notice that it's actually transparent. Still pretty, you can see. And then this one, let's hope this one doesn't make a huge mess. I'll just show you the color. It's very pretty. I wonder if I already have. I sometimes, if I don't pay attention, I can buy the same color twice, which is very unfortunate. So let's just get in there. Yeah, so this is kind of a classic cadmium red light, and what I found interesting is that actually I saw a color recipe that had this color with white, and it really gave like a nice corally shade. So I don't want to open the white just yet, so I'll just take a little bit of the cream and let's see what happens when they mix. Yeah, it does give quite a nice coral color. Very nice. And in its pure form, you can see it's quite intense, and I like it. This is probably the only kind of red that I like. It's a very kind of orangey red. So that's my little haul. I hope you enjoyed it. I will see you soon in another video. Bye.